Oh, hello, and welcome to Rainbow Flickers over the Crimson Screen with our reviews of the new American Horror Story Delicates that came out 2 weeks ago, if I
Yes.
remember correctly.
hmm I mean, to
And
keep you guys up to speed, I had been watching them as they come out, but somebody was slacking. Glad he picked up on it.
I was busy. Okay, I was busy with life,
hmm
with love, with everything, with work, and so on and so forth. But anyway, so we actually have two episodes to talk about. So Delicate is different from the other American Horror Story because it's actually an adaptation of a book. So that's actually interesting because it's a different kind of medium that is adapted onto the screen. Other things interesting that there's a lot of the regular who actually don't appear on that show. So we got quite a lot of different actors this time, apart from Emma Roberts, who's coming back, and I can't remember his name now.
Isn't it Zachary?
O'Toole,
Zachary Carrot?
O'Hare, known
Yeah.
as O'Hare, something.
Okay.
Uh, oh, damn. This name is not gonna come back to me. But never mind. He's playing the doctor in that show. Um, what did you think of it? What did you think of the premise of it?
Well, for me, for the first episode, I just had to watch it twice because I put it on because usually American Horror Story well, I guess before NYC, there's been the pilot episode has been a big bang. Like there's been a lot going on, so you could watch it
Mm.
in the background doing something else, but you still be able to keep up with what's going on. But I feel like Delicate is one where it's slower paced. It's a lot of building up to something. There's a lot of hidden symbolism. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you really have to sit down and watch. It's not something you can just watch while you clean, the bookshelves.
That's true. What I would say is, well, my feeling about American Horror Stories, which is for me, usually they got some great beginning with some terrible endings, and that culminated with double feature, which is a season that I hate so much with 1984. And usually the one that I liked actually are the one that people hate.
Well,
Which is just like, mm,
I feel like in Delicate's defense, from social media, a lot of people who were tuning in to American Horror Story this season were disappointed because they're saying it's boring, it's slow,
mhm.
it's all of this. So, I mean, the same things we heard last season because I think NYC was also a pretty good season. So,
Exactly.
uh,
That's what I was just looking at it. Is just like we actually have a show that tried to renew itself after some very disappointing season. The last season was NYC was for me groundbreaking in its theme, in the way they actually looked at HIV epidemic as an horror story in America, which is it is in some ways. And this one. Same thing. They actually really try to set up something. It really reminded me a lot into like 1970s horror because they're taking the time to set up a mood, to set up an ambience, to set up the character, the premise. They don't actually want to go straight into gore or whatever. They are not doing anything for shock factor. Everything has been thought to actually help with the story and actually bringing something. To be honest, I still don't know what's going to happen. After two episodes, we're still kind of in a blur. In a blur, we don't know what's going to happen, but it's so amazing to actually watch it. Something very interesting as well is that the episode has been so far written by a woman and directed by women, and it's a story about women. So it's I do like this idea. Like I think if a man would have done this episode, maybe the two episodes maybe would have been different. But I love the sensibility of women on this.
same. I agree. Um, so yes, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Kim Kardashian is in this. so,
And she's
so
doing good. She's good.
yeah, I know. I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, okay.
I found that actually she's playing a role pretty well. I don't think her role is actually that different from what she does usually. I don't follow Kardashian, it's not my thing, but I think she's doing pretty well on the role, and it's very interesting to see her doing something else.
Yeah, a lot of people were worried about the season and that her being in it would mean it would be like some stupid, I guess, season, I guess, whatever. But
Mm,
so far, I like the direction it's going. The only issue that I have right now is the fact that the episodes are about 42 minutes apiece, and
hmm
we only have 5 episodes of 2023. So I'm kind of nervous about that. But
Yeah, it seemed that the I don't know the book because it's actually based on the book, so
hmm
but I never read the book. But it's sort of a mystery, and so far they really got us like different characters, different things, different visions. But after 5 episodes, do you think they will manage to do a good cliffhanger? Oh no, that's the thing. That's my issue as well. It's just like we're gonna have to wait next year to actually have an answer to a cliffhanger that will be in a story which is slow paced.
yeah, and no, I would say there's going to be no Halloween episode, but there actually is going to be a Halloween episode because American Horror Stories is taking like the spot. So there will be some
Mm,
American Horror Story Halloween episode or something, but not this one per se.
yeah, American Horror Story, the rejected episodes usually. Oh my God. Um,
David, tell us how you really feel.
no, I really. The thing is actually is I used to love American Horror Story, and then I just realized that they started to get more and more the shock value, and it started to get very samey in what they were doing. And double feature pretty much like they were talking about rimming you know, they were actually in the episode just like,
well,
okay, we don't need to talk about this. The character doesn't actually bring anything to the characters or anything else. And it simply was just brought there as a shock value for straight people watching the show. It was weird for me, and the story was really, really boring. Damn.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like I actually like double feature. I like the first half. The second half,
The first time was good, yes, I
the
agree.
first half, I didn't hate it as much as you hated it. I thought it was just very conspiracy theory, very campy, very.
No.
I don't even want to say campy. I feel like it was just more of a parody, and I didn't hate it. So sorry.
No, I find none of the characters are even likable, and that's the thing for me is actually I need some character I can root for, and all the characters were just annoying. No,
I feel like they were all
it
supposed to
could
be
have been a
horrible.
slasher.
I felt like they were all supposed to be horrible. It was kind of the thing.
I don't know, I don't know. And American Horror Stories, they just brought us a couple of good episodes, but for some reason the really awful episode are the one everyone like, and I just don't get it. It's just weird. It's just weird to me, like. Doing American Horror Story when they started, they had a lot of kind of anthology show, and personally, I found that Channel Zero was a better anthology show than actually American Horror Story, simply because it was a different story every season. But they actually were very serious on the horror, on actually the storyline. It was really, really creepy.
Yeah, I mean,
And the more,
I also
go ahead.
found for anthologies, I also found Monsterland to be a very good, you know,
Mm,
show.
totally.
But it only got one season, so what do I know?
Mm. And so we had actually had this show that were for me better anthologies that kind of got swept under the carpet in some way and canceled too early. And we actually have American Horror Stories that have usually good premises and very bad endings. I hate the end. I think there's maybe one ending that I like in that show, but most of it is just terrible. And the more we went into it, and the more that you decided to get obsessed with the Coven episode, which the Coven season, which are not my favorite, let's be honest. So yeah, so I'm glad they're actually trying to do something different. And if we look at what happened in the first episode of that new season, we really, as I said, went back into 1970s, kind of Rosemary's Baby kind of vibe to it.
Oh, which is also for those of you don't know, Rosemary's Baby was actually remade as a two-part miniseries. That is also pretty good. So if you haven't checked that out, check
Hmm.
it out.
And it's funny because in episode two of that season, we actually have the doctor who actually got the same name of the doctor in Rosemary's Baby, so that's quite a nice little trivia. Um, but what we have really, it's very weird because they're really setting up something. We got a lot of symbolism about babies, about actually giving birth,
And the spiders.
about spiders. Uh, we've got some very high-fashion, creepy people as well. Clara Delevingne,
Mm-hmm.
Clara Delevingne actually, I love that actress. For some reason, she's always at this face. I actually make her look creepy. I know she's doing pretty well. But she does. She does. And she appeared in the first episode in the background a couple of times. And she's really creepy. I mean, she's high fashion, which is fun. Um, I've seen also some like, I don't know if it's an homage to it, but do you know the movie Dead Ringer?
Yes,
David Cronenberg's movie. And
but they
the
also have
costume, a
made a
remake.
show. Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
show.
Uh, but I'm talking about the original because when you look at the costume of the doctors in the first episode, like they are wearing this costume to actually do the operation, it really reminded me of the same costume the surgeon used in Dead Ringer for some reason. It just pop up to me like this. It was very similar. So that was very interesting, and I love these references.
Me too. Me too. Um, I'm looking forward to episode 3, and I haven't said that in a while for an American Horror Story episode.
Mm, I know.
And but it's basically me and David are on the same page. It's giving what needs to be gave.
Mm,
Okay.
it does.
So far.
And the funny stuff is, I don't know what you think, but you know I'm a fan of David Lynch, and
Mhm.
episode two was directed by Jennifer Lynch, so David Lynch' daughter. And I do find it was very lynching, especially the scene in the bathroom
Oh
during the
yeah.
ceremony. That was so David Lynch. There was something about it, and I was just like, "Ooh, okay." Especially when they just went back and you see that this woman actually sitting at the table, just smiling at her, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, this is creepy." I really, really love that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, it's gonna be a good show. I think it's gonna be a good show, and considering it's not Ryan Murphy writing it, I think we might have a good ending.
and the fact that it's based off a book kind of helps too. So. Mm.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, just looking forward to see. I found like the actors are spot on. All of the actors are spot on, and yeah, maybe people don't like it actually it's slower than usual, but it really, if you give it a chance and just like get yourself going into it, you're just gonna realize that you really create this creepy atmosphere that's gonna play with your mind quite a lot, like it plays with Emma Roberts' mind during the first and second episode.
Yes. Oh, and it's actually interesting to note that this was a very big hot topic during the strikes that have been going on. And so, do you have any opinion on that,
Mm.
David?
Are we talking about the transphobia thing?
Not the transphobia, but remember they were saying that American Horror Story was trying to get around the strike to film.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
Mm.
it's Ryan Murphy. He can do whatever he wants. Let's be honest.
But
I
all
saw
of
you were talking about the transphobia thing. So,
yeah, the transphobia thing, which if you haven't heard, you can get on Twitter. There's enough to tell you, inform you. But
mm, it's another
so
one.
so I'm still gonna be tuning in. We'll be watching the show
Hmm.
to give you guys all the updates. Because for those of you
Hmm.
that are on the fence about it, and especially I guess the Americans who are on the fence about it, you actually don't have to have FX because it's actually on Hulu now. The next day, so there you go.
Mm, that's good. Mm. And then we're actually gonna, I think the finishing on the 19th of October, if I'm correct.
Yep, just in time for
And
American Horror Stories.
exactly. And if you don't like it, well, you can still watch from next week, Chucky season 3.
Yeah.
Woohoo! They're gonna be covering. We're looking forward to it because that's gonna be fun.
Okay, well, if you guys like the videos, you can always subscribe at the
Mhm.
button below. David, anything you want
I don't see the button below, but I trust you. It's gonna be there.
to add? See
No,
you
there's
guys next
nothing
week.
to.
See you
See
guys
you
next
next week.
week.
Bye
Bye.
bye.